it's Pete here. Today we're going to go ahead and move forward on the 4runner project. Going to go ahead and throw some running boards on there. Mia went ahead and picked up some running boards from iboardauto.com, and they should have everything we need ready to go. Just pop them out of the box, check the hardware, and slap them on. We'll see if it's as easy as they say it is. Now we're going to go ahead and get the running boards out of the box and see what all we need to remove from the truck. Alright, so here we've got the running boards in their packaging. Go ahead and open it up. Yeah, these are a lightweight aluminum, not a super sturdy feel. However, the brackets that mount them are some thick 1/4-inch steel, so that should make them feel a lot sturdier once they're bolted up to these. That gives me a lot more confidence than the aluminum pieces themselves. Got a hardware pack. Those out of there. And that appears. And here we have the contents from hardware package A. Everything lines up. We've got all the bolts and nuts that we're supposed to have. Just to make my life a little easier in the assembly process, I went ahead and put the washers on in the correct order, so everything's just going to bolt up once we get those brackets in place. Alright, and it looks like we have all of the contents from package B. Everything lines up like it should. We got 12 of everything. Boop. So with this set, you're going to get 2 sets of arms. 2 are going to match the front. They're going to be the long curved ones. The other ones all have the same angle here and the same flap. You're going to be confused for a second when you look at the instructions. But in the instructions, it shows these little flaps go one way or the other on each side of the vehicle. It's actually the same stamp, but it's going to be hidden underneath the car, so nobody but you installing it's going to know that they're off a 1/2 inch on each side, unless you're the guy who designed it, and then I wonder why. I know why. You saved a little bit of money. It's okay. I'm going to take one more look at the car before we install these so we can remember what it looked like before. So we've got a couple of bolts underneath here we need to take off. There's 3 sets of them. 2 bolts that are holding this panel on. We're just going to remove one at a time and then put the bracket on so that way these panels don't fall off and we get everything all squared up. Take a look underneath here. And so right there are the bolts. Yeah, these are the bolts we're going to remove. These 2 bolts right here. And then running underneath the car, you can see you've got a couple more to get to. So with the 13mm ratchet, we're going to go ahead and remove those 2 bolts. Once you get them free, they're not really tight to turn, so I just went ahead and broke both of them free. If I can feel back where the other one is. And there we go. Since we've got to get all this stuff to align up, I'm just going to leave them just a little bit loose so that way we don't have to worry about it being stuck in one spot and trying to shimmy things. Should be good. Really, if nobody pulls in the parking lot and kills me, that would be bad. So the real trick here is to hold your tongue right, try to hold one bolt in place while wiggling it and turning it to go inside. Since they are kind of a coarse thread, they don't thread in too easily, but it's just one of those things where you gotta wiggle and shimmy until it goes into place. Alright, and now that I've got one side down, I feel like I've got a much better technique to go back and do the second ones. Once you do something the first time, it always gets a little bit easier. And less stupid. for this next step, we're going to need to take these little guys and stick them in these channels. We're going to do there's 6 on each one. You want to keep them paired up at about the same spots on the channels as you're going to expect. Alright, so we got those 6 in. We're going to go ahead and get these 6 in. Try to keep about even amounts so you know where they're at when you go to put them on. Got them far enough in that when I flip these over, they're not going to just fall right off. And it looks like these running boards are identical front to back. So this is probably going to be the hardest part of the job for everybody doing this at home. You need to go ahead and locate your 10mm socket. I know it's in your garage somewhere. You know it's in there somewhere. Probably don't know where it is, but you need to find this little guy. Or go to the hardware store and buy a new one, because these guys like to disappear. Let's go out to the car. So I'm just going to line the bolts up to where they go here. All right. Get them all just roughed out into place. Go ahead and throw a bolt and washer on each one. When I got to the second side of the vehicle, I realized it was easiest to go ahead and put one bolt all the way through and attach the nut to it so it would hold it in place. And that made the job just a little bit easier because you have to flex down on the rails just a little bit to get the post to go all the way through so you can get the nut on there. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and get everything lined up here, get the running board in line with the chrome there, give it a couple tabs to get it pushed back to where I need it, and go ahead and tighten up these bolts so it'll stay into place. I need to go ahead and get all of the braces tightened underneath now that I've got everything on there and secured. So now that I've got that done, I'm going to go ahead and tighten up the side rails. Okay, so the installation of those running boards was pretty straightforward. Should be something anybody could do themselves. So if you want to try it out, give it a shot. I'm going to leave a link to these running boards in the description below. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll try to get them answered for you. Thanks for watching. Eat a donut and stay rad.